What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got for you two Reddit relationship stories, starting with this one, which involves some incredibly petty revenge. It's the battle of two brides, and as you can probably guess, they are sister-in-laws. It's very funny. Without further ado, sit back, relax, let's get into the first story. Stay tuned, by the way, for the second. She erased us from her wedding, so I'm erasing her from mine. This was originally posted on May the 3rd, 2025. When my brother got married, his bride, now my sister-in-law, had very specific expectations. She wanted everyone in the family to wear their wedding colours, and we all did. People flew in from out of state. Everyone made an effort to make her feel celebrated. The day before the wedding, she made some offhanded but clearly pointed remarks about how, quote, our side of the family never takes anything seriously, and she wasn't expecting us to take this seriously either. The comments made their rounds, and feelings were hurt before the wedding even began. But we still showed up, looked great, and participated. Fast forward to getting the wedding photos and video. Not a single photo of our side of the family was posted. Not one. In the entire 3-minute highlight reel, there were no faces from our family except a 3-second clip of my parents with the bride and groom. The rest of us, it's like we never existed. I texted her cordially, and I asked if she could send me the pictures with just our siblings, since none of them had been posted. She responded that we never took those pictures. That is wild because I remember helping people adjust corsages for them. She doubled down on the gaslighting. I gave it 6 months and I asked again. She suddenly had no idea what I was talking about. Fine. Here is where the petty revenge comes in. I'm getting married in 8 days. I've been engaged for 6 months and planning this moment since she tried to erase us. I hired a great photographer and videographer. But what she doesn't know is that the videographer has a secret mission. Make it look like she's getting all the attention. Track her. Hover near her like she's the star of the show. She will feel so seen. And then, the final cut, she won't appear for even 1 second. Just like she made sure we didn't. I didn't even invite her originally. Word must have gotten out because she cornered me at a family dinner and said, unfortunately, I have to work the day before and after your wedding, but I should still be able to make it. I was so stunned, I just said, that's fine. The Airbnb is booked whether you're there or not. So, now she's coming. Ugh. To cope, I spelled her name wrong on the wedding invite on purpose. That was my first move. The video blackout will be my last. I mean, we talk about petty. Spelling someone's name wrong, that is up there. I'm not asking for advice, by the way. I'm not asking if it's too mean. It's not. It's exactly fair. I'm happy to finally talk about it freely. Wow, there we go. Now, don't worry, guys. We are going to get a post-wedding update. But before that, let's have a look in the comments down below and see what people were saying. Somebody said, actually, you can just instruct the photographer to take unglamorous photographs of her, like her eyes are closed or weird facial expressions, and just post that on social media. If she complains, you could just tell her, well, at least everyone's in my wedding photos. Although somebody replied to this, no shooter would risk their career for that, which I guess does make sense. OP said, I'm not asking him to do anything different other than just don't put her in the video. He's still taking amazing footage and does a phenomenal job. This won't hurt him, but I will ask his opinion if it would make you guys feel better. Someone else said, and I think this is semi-fair, she's living in your head rent-free. Just forgive her and keep it pushing. It's your wedding, about you and your partner celebrating your marriage. Or is it actually getting some weird revenge on your family member? Honestly, I love petty, but this kind of sucks. Which, I suppose, as I said, is pretty fair because, you know, in doing this, are you not slightly taking away the point of the day from you and your partner? And yeah, are you going to be thinking about this as the wedding day is progressing rather than what you should be thinking about, just enjoying a wedding day? Who knows? Anyway, Opie replied, it's just a side quest. The rent-free is right, and it will stop now. Not me thinking that nobody would give a dang about this, and you guys are so good about calling me out where I need to heal. I'll work on that. Yeah, fair enough. Somebody else said, well, don't worry about it. You'll have enough to do at the wedding without tracking drama. Your response will change nothing about your broken sister-in-law. OP said, this is easily my favourite comment out of all 3,000 of them. I do have enough to do. I got it off my chest talking about it, but I'm ready to not think about it again. Thank you. Nothing I could do would change how she is as a person, and that actually has nothing to do with me, so I really ought to not make it as big of a deal. And finally, somebody said, and don't worry, there is an update coming. Update once you followed through. Also, congratulations on your marriage. Hopefully you guys can live happily without her. OP said, thank goodness we're in opposite ends of our state with hours in between. She's never on my mind and not involved in my life, but I was pretty hurt at her wedding. I guess enough to remember it 5 years later. She'll be at the wedding, not treated differently, and I won't be focused on her at all. This was just a side quest, not a main goal. I was a little bit dramatic last night while posting this. Yeah, I mean, you know what? As long as you said to the photographer, videographer, do your job with this little side quest, and you don't think about it a lot yourself during the day, I think it's absolutely fine. And it is very, very great and petty revenge. But if it is dominating your thinking even a little bit, then I don't think it's worth it. But anyway, 9 days later, we got the update that I can't wait to read. The wedding was absolutely beautiful, and I didn't have to think about this all day. We've been living on the love high that comes with the wedding and forgot about anything until YouTube remakes reminded me. Our videographer was given verbal instructions beforehand and made sure to know who my sister-in-law was. As our sneak peek clips have been given back to us, I've yet to see her in any of the footage. Now, our videographer told us they had over 200 gigabytes of raw footage, so she'll definitely be in some footage on a hard drive somewhere, but she definitely won't end up on any of our Instagram highlights. We'll see about the final video. I definitely didn't think this would blow up like it did. Originally, I only shared this with 3 girls in book club. Thank you all for coming on this petty revenge journey with me. Now, unfortunately, that is the end of this story for now. This was posted back in May 2025, but I don't know, that's only like 4 months or so ago, and you guys probably know how long these like wedding videos can take to fully make, and videographers and editors have other stuff to do in the meantime, and I'm sure there's a backlog and stuff. So we don't have the full finished wedding video yet. But one thing is for sure, this was incredibly petty and I really enjoyed it. People in the comments are saying, yeah, it just can take forever. This is incredibly petty, but maybe the fact that we don't actually have any sort of video yet or highlight or anything shows that this is a very legit story and OP is just sort of waiting for that to come through before posting it on Reddit. Whether or not she decides to do that or not, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but as someone that wants to see it, I definitely recommend it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, editing takes time. Photographers, videographers are working on different things as well. But yeah, I'd rather wait. You know, if something was really expensive, you'd rather wait, have it be perfect, make sure that your sister-in-law is not involved with it and in it at all before getting the finished product. So sadly, we don't have it, but nonetheless, phenomenal story. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think that OP was sort of too het up on her sister-in-law and should have just let it go 5 years in the future? Did it potentially spoil her wedding day a little bit thinking about it? Or do you think, no, it was a side quest, this was great petty revenge, and her sister-in-law deserved it? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get into our second story though. HOA insists my sister and I are not a single family household, and one of us should move out. We've lived here all our lives. This was originally posted on July the 6th, 2017. I am 21 and my sister is 19. We've lived in this house our entire lives. Our parents bought it 27 years ago. They joined the HOA about 15 years ago. My dad died 5 years ago. Mum died 6 months ago. We're now the owners of this house. We have been visited by the HOA multiple times. They are citing that we're not a single family home anymore since our mum has died. They've told us that according to the terms, only a single family can be resident in the homes, and being a single family is defined as a person or couple and their legal unmarried children. This meant that my mum could live with me and my sister, as it was a single family according to the definition, but me and my sister living here after our mum's death means that we are 2 families of single adults. They want one of us to move out so that this place becomes a single family home again. They have visited us 4 times now asking us to leave. They say they don't like to sue out of respect for our parents, but they will do that if we continue to refuse to comply by the community rules. Your mum died half a year ago and they've already visited you 4 times, threatening to sue when your parents have owned that house for 27 years. Where is the compassion? OP continues, can they kick us out of our own house, or one of us anyway? What should we expect and how can we fight this? The location here is in Washington State, and as you can probably guess, this was posted on r/legal advice. Right, let's see what the comments are saying before we get into the update, which was posted almost 3 months later. So somebody said, do you have a copy of the HOA regs and have you read through them to verify that what they're saying is actually true? OP said, I couldn't find a copy in our documents. I have asked them every time to send us a copy of the terms, and they always say they will, but nothing has come. Well, that seems pretty fishy. The same commenter followed up, but what do they say when they come to the door and you ask them? I'd be inclined to tell them to stop harassing you until they can provide you a copy so you can have your lawyer review it. OP said, well, they say they're here on behalf of the HOA to give us a friendly reminder that these are single-family households and we are legally required to comply to the rules and things like that. But never have they given us anything in writing or given us the terms, despite us requesting a copy every single time. Should we demand that they stop harassing us next time they show up? Yeah, I think you definitely should. Also, this commenter is right. Like, the whole point of the HOA, right, and these terms that they're talking about, you've got to be able to actually physically see them or know they exist. Like, where are the regs? Because that is what they're basing this entire thing off. And if you've not seen them, then what are you supposed to do? Someone else suggested, if you want to be proactive, go to your county's recorder office and ask for help in this matter. Specifically, ask for help finding the HOA bylaws that your house is subject to. The HOA bylaws should be of record there. Many counties also allow you to access these records online as well. Someone else said, and this is a good suggestion, I think, start by attending the next HOA meeting. Explain what is happening and see if they can't reconsider. There's a chance the other board members don't know this is even happening, and it could put a stop to whoever is pursuing this on their behalf. That is a great point because, yeah, this does seem sort of backhanded, secretive, conniving, and I reckon, well, I don't know this, but it sounds to me like your parents have been sort of very respected members of the community of the HOA for decades. So if I was on this board and there was a chance I didn't know about this, and then, you know, my neighbours' daughters came in and said, this is what's going on, I'd be outraged. So yeah, definitely go to the next meeting. Great advice there. The person continues saying, if not, as others have said, remind them that no judge is likely to side with them as their argument is ridiculous and callous. It definitely is callous. And you know what? It is ridiculous as well. Is that necessarily right that you're not a single family household? Surely you are still a single family household because you're 2 sisters. Like, I don't really care about the actual terminology of this because I think it's ridiculous anyway that they're threatening you with this, but you have to still be a single family household. 2 families of single adults, but you're not 2 families because you're from the same family. Finally, somebody said, sounds like someone in your neighborhood wants to force you out so they can buy your house. I call BS on their part. That is exactly what I think as well. Anyway, 3 months later, as I said, we got this update. So I first confirmed that they are from the HOA, not just some people harassing us for the fun of it. We also got the CC and R of the HOA, which included a clause about single family and its weird definition. It included partners, children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, step-parents, stepchildren, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, children of uncles and aunts, children of nieces and nephews, but no siblings. It even had a clause that said co-owners are not allowed to live there unless they are a single family based on said definition. We also received a letter from them telling us of our violation and demanding us to comply. So, my sister and I went around the neighborhood and gave copies of the terms and the letter we received to everyone and told them, imagine you died tomorrow. Do you want them to kick out your kids? Because they're doing it to us. They would do it to your kids as well. Help us stop them. We gathered signatures and had almost everyone contact the president and demand that this should stop. Within 2 weeks, we received a letter that says this has been a mistake with an apology. We learned that this HOA is actually horrible to everyone, not just us. So there are now people preparing to run for the HOA board to replace the current members. And they're promising to have a referendum about whether the HOA should be dissolved or not, because it really is doing nothing of substance except being a pain in the butt for everyone. Okay, great resolution to that story. Again, as someone that doesn't live in the States, I'm not super clued up on HOAs because they're not really a thing. In fact, they're not really a thing at all in the UK. My grandparents, I believe, live in an HOA or at least they're part of some sort of private road residence, community that I think is run by an HOA. It must be. So maybe I should ask them or you guys in the comments down below. But I think this is, I don't know. There are quite a lot of stories, bad stories about HOAs on Reddit and them doing things like this and coming across as pretty manipulative and, predatory. I think from speaking to my grandparents, their one is fine and they've been happy with it. And they keep things in pretty tight nick or good nick, I suppose, which is actually sort of what you want from an HOA. You don't want just residents being able to do whatever they want, etc. I remember a story from them. They said that someone had moved into the road and had these like quite garish pots outside or sort of figurines or statues or something like that. And they were asked to remove them because they were a little bit garish. But apart from that, nothing crazy. And I think that is legitimate. I know from my perspective, I am currently going through quite a lot of long lease contracts regarding the flat I'm trying to get. So it's not too dissimilar to this where, the regs are important and you need to go through word by word and see exactly what is going on there. But to have all those different sort of familial relations be considered fine, but not have two siblings living in a house, that is ridiculous. One thing's for sure, it definitely wasn't a mistake, as they said. They were just trying to take your house. And as the top comment down below said, I wonder what the HOA had in mind for an endgame here, because this looks suspiciously like playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes territory. And I have to agree with that. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on this, but also leave a comment. As you can see, there's a comment on screen right here. One of my favorites from the last episode from one of you guys. I love going through the comments and seeing what you guys have to say about each episode because, I know I'm only one person and I might get things wrong, and also it helps to hear what you guys have to think about these stories as well. It's very interesting. If you want more, check out this playlist on screen of all my stories on this channel and subscribe down here so you never miss one. I'll catch you with the next.